Hi, this is Stephanie. Ignore the sound of my dog chomping away on a bone in the background. Sorry, ambient pleasant noises, I'm sure. Okay, so we've looked at how to build headers and buttons in Canva. Now I am going to move over to, once those are done, what do we do with them? So I have put together a home page. I have made it a front page. I have then chosen it as my home page, and here we are with a blank. So what I'm going to start off with is adding the header. So I go into edit and I click on upload image. I am then going to head over to my downloads. Pretty sure I named this my name. There we go. And there is the image I want after I did the drop shadow and everything from Canva, and I submit. Now you'll notice this bad boy is tiny and I don't want him to be tiny. So what I'm going to do is just a wee bit of HTML editing. Now, for those of you who are a little bit like, no, I don't want to edit code, this is not rocket science, I promise. All you have to do is change two numbers. So up here at the top, it says the maximum width is at 320 pixels. That is why that is tiny. So instead of 320 pixels, I'm going to take out all of that and replace it with 100%. What that means is that it will adjust its width based on the size of the screen it's presenting on. Now, in order to make it so that that works, I have discovered that 500 pixels works pretty well on max height. So then I'm going to go 500 pixels as the max height, and then that will have fixed the sizing issue. Ta-da, there it is. And to show you what I mean by the fact that it will resize depending on the size of the screen, here we go. So we go over to home and it'll shrink it. There it is. Now, a couple other things I want to do before I add in any buttons to this page. So I'm going to go back into edit on this. I'm going to click on him and I'm going to come up here to the page positioning area and I'm going to center him. That is not going to do a whole lot, except like I said, it does shift based on where you are on the page. And so this will keep it centered no matter what the answer to that question is. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a button actually. And in order to do that, I'm going to click on it again, come up here to the link picture, and I want to click on external links because what I want to do is I'm going to take this out of the link area and instead I'm going to type in my email address. And that will make this then a button that goes to my email. So if I save, you can then see that if I hover over there on the left side of the screen at the very bottom, it says mail to sdavis@perryschools.org. So if they click on this, it'll open up their email apparatus and then they'll be able to email to me. That saves me from having to make all of this like just kind of boring text that is clickable. So instead the image up here is clickable. As long as they click on that, they can get to my email. Okay, now the next thing we need to take a look at doing is, now that we've got this lovely header up here, what are we going to do as far as buttons are concerned? So we're going to go back into edit. I want to make sure I'm below the header, so my cursor's over here. That's cool. I am then going to insert a table. And my particular table is going to be 3 buttons wide and 2 buttons tall. So I click on that. Don't worry about what that looks like quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to center him also, so that everything's good. And then I'm going to highlight all of this, boink, boink, and center those so that the images all get centered within each individual table piece. So that's happening. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to add in my pictures. Now, normally, I might, under normal circumstances, go ahead and make sure that all of these black lines are invisible, but for the sake of showing you what I'm looking at, I will do that at a later moment. So for number 1 here, I am going to go into that spot in the table and then click on picture, click on upload image, go back into my downloads. It is in this folder and I want number 1. Pachow. There he is. Yes, these are different buttons, and you'll notice I decided to not do drop shadows on this. I think you'll see why once all of these are together. These are actually smaller buttons that make up a big picture. And I got really lucky on getting this to line up on a first try, so that was pretty exciting. So I put picture 1 in there. There he goes. Okay, then picture 2. Dun, ta-da. Submit. And I do wait until these fully load into each one because sometimes it interrupts the process if you try to make it do too much at once. 3 and submit. Dun, ta-da. Okay, and then 4, come down into that little dude. Okay, you'll notice once we get to this point that it moves my control bar up here out of the picture, and I don't love that, so I'm going to go bring that screen back up a little bit so I can see what I need it to do. Number 5. Submit. Ta-da. And number 6. Okay. Once those are all in, I'm going to go ahead and save the page as is. And then I'm going to show you the bad picture of why we always want to go in and fix the HTML issue, because otherwise this will be beautiful immediately and then terrible at a later moment. And I don't want that to happen. So if we save it immediately, you'll see that it kind of sort of works. It's not exactly what I want it to look like, but it kind of sort of works and everything at least fits. However, if I click on the home page and I get my little control beacons up over here for the student view pieces and how to publish, you'll notice that immediately this just kind of goes to crap. So that shows why I need to make sure that I've edited to make sure that the width is a percentage and not a pixel count, because otherwise it'll chop off my right-hand side in ways that I do not want it to happen. I like the lineup of this better. I like it being closer better here, but this is definitely not doable. So I'm going to click Edit. Now, this particular HTML edit is a bit more intense than the previous one. So if you have a hard time with that, let me know. And you can just copy and paste your HTML into a Word doc and send it to me, and I'll fix it for you and send it back. This is the HTML that we had from the top. You see where we switched the width to 100% and the height to 500. Then we start the table. That's what we want. So there are a few things that we want to make sure is going on with the table. Number 1 is we want to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and drag these little dots down so I can see what I'm looking at, that we have 33% as the width, because that means the table is setting based on the width of the page. So that's good. We want that. Now, where it all goes to kind of heck over here is all of this lovely little max width piece and max height piece in this area. So I want to take everything that's between those quotes and take it out. And that put in a weird extra little quote. And what I've done is I've replaced all of that with just in quotes, width equals 99% in quotes, height equals 250 in quotes, and that gets the job done. Okay. And so you want to take all the max stuff out and just replace it with quote width equals quote 99% quote height equals quote 250 quote. And that will get the job done. And I'll show you in a second. So you're going to have to replace 6 of those. So we see where the image style ends over here again. And we take out through the quotation marks. Okay, that's 2. Here comes 3. And then here's the end of that first row of the table. So we come down to 4. And then 5. Oops, get that quote mark in there. And last but not least is number 6 through the quotation mark. Okay. Now, that should work. Save, please work. Huzzah! Okay. So that got the job done. Everything is lined up lovely and beautifully, and I am happy with it. Hurrahs, hurrahs, hurrahs. And so you can see what I did in Canva with this was just one giant picture that I blew up huge and then kind of dragged it around on the template to make it into chunks so that you can see the one continuous picture as it's going on. So you can see that like people match up in all directions while this is working. So yay! Now the last thing I want to do as far as formatting, I said earlier, was I personally don't want those black lines in there. That is a me thing. You can definitely leave them, but I'm going to take them out. And in order to make that magic happen, what I need to do is, first of all, there we go. Select the entire table, and I'm going to go up here to Table Properties, Advanced, Border Style, Hidden, Save. Now what that will have done is take out these outside ones, but it leaves the inside ones, so I need to fix that again. Okay. Come on. Here we go. And then I'm going to click on, no, I'm not. I thought I was. I am not. Oh, don't do anything. I'm going to click, nope, that's not going to do it. Okay, so I will do this individually. If I'd done it before, I could have highlighted the whole thing easily without screwing with my visuals. You want to take into cell properties and do the same thing. Advanced, Style, Hidden, Save. And you're going to need to do that twice per row. No, 3 times per row. I did not lie. Cell properties, Advanced, Hidden, Save. Cell properties, Advanced, Hidden, Save, and then the next row. Cell properties, Advanced, Hidden, Save. 2 more times. Okay. And this should get the format looking like I want it to look, which is half of the battle for me. Okay, yep, I took out all of those lines. Hurrah. Let's save it again. Okay, and that's what it looks like on the page. Everything is centered, so it kind of keeps everything even looking that direction. Now let me head over to home and show you what happens when I reduce the size of the page for the sidebars. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Okay, just smaller. So that is exactly what I want that to look like. And again, that is already a button. Now I want all of these to be buttons. I have honestly not set up my modules yet. So I'm just going to show you how to do one of these real quick. And I'm going to add a module that I'm going to call Course Information. Add module. And then all you have to do is add something to it. I'm going to assign a page, and it's going to be a new page, and I'm going to call it CI landing page. And it will be blank right now, but that will create one. So then I have a module, hurrah. So all I have to do to turn these into buttons then is click on edit again. Click on that picture, link, course links, pages, CI landing page. Now that will take it past the ugly module page itself, which is just the list of modules, and into the here's your course info, what I want it to look like when they click on it. You can take it straight to the module page if you would like to. I don't like to. So right now then this takes me over to what will be a blank page right now that I just created called the course info landing page. And then as I add stuff to there, it will have all of those pieces of the puzzle. So then the research tools page becomes one page that they'll land on that will give them links to a whole bunch of stuff outside of Canvas that they can use. They'll have papers that they can look at on the task exemplars, lessons for their academic paper, lessons for their POD, and then finally I'm going to do an online version of the college wall in case we have to go remote. I was really sad to have lost that particular piece of the puzzle with the seniors at the end of the year this year. So that is how that gets set up. Let me show you real quick, just because I've already set this one up. My comm dummy for the summer. Okay. All of these, again, are set up. Classroom starter set. The things that will be one pages aren't yet, but I set up the 5 modules to start off with. So that takes me over to, again, my landing page is naked. These previous and lasts will go down to the bottom once I have material on that. But I want to show you how I set up my modules so you can kind of see that page real quick also. So for the classroom starter kit, when I get there, it will take it to a landing page again, and then I'll have the course calendar and the feedback forms that they'll need for themselves, which is set up as an assignment. So some things that we'll do right at the beginning of the year, and then I'll replace that with a one-pager that has links to them after we do it. But I want them to have that walkthrough piece. This is what my module 1 looks like. It is huge. But we have a landing page for it that will have an intro video on it, and then each lesson we'll get a page. So we do a day on, I guess 3 days on chapter 1, a day on chapter 2, a couple days on chapter 3. They'll have to do a symbolic object speech that will have the assignment pages and then descriptions on how the speech day will go. They will have a link to share their. Went ahead and put this together in case we're online by that point. If not, I can take a couple of these things out. But then it has the folder to post their link of their video, their self-reflection glow and grows, and then the end of part 1 test. And I do Badger with that class. So if you're interested in assigning badges or kind of like as stickers online or need some help on any of the other stuff, feel free to holler. And I will be more than happy to help out. I hope that this has helped a little bit to show you how to get those set up. So it's a little bit more of exactly what you want it to look like, which is important if we're going to be staring at these for a while. All right. Have a good one. Bye.